Hi, thanks for stopping by. This is Tim, host Trosser, and just wanted to go over some best real estate investing to be done is without money. And you might ask that can you really buy real estate with no money? Well, let's look at a couple ideas here. We'll look at three different ways. First is the lease option. Secondly, we're going to look at buy and sell contracts, not properties. And then third, use other people's money. Now, when we say without money, we don't mean totally without money. We just get it from different places. Let's look at the lease option. This is probably one of the oldest and common ways of being able to buy. There's two types of lease options that where you can make money. They're a sandwich lease. You would have one where you're paying an option fee to the seller. Now, when you're paying the option fee, that gives you a certain amount of time to start it. So actually, before you start, you want to make sure you have it sold, unless, of course, you want to buy the house yourself. The other way is not paying an option fee. And a lot of people that will do this, they don't realize that there should be an option fee. So I would suggest not necessarily bringing it up. And have the contract written up if you just start with the lease. And in the same way that you go find a buyer that you're going to sell it to, but charge them the option fee. And of course you want to raise the price a little bit so that you'll have some extra money there at the end when it's all done. So you could make $1,000, $2,000 at the beginning, or maybe more, and then have maybe $5,000 or $10,000 extra at the end of it. Now, you don't need to own the property to profit from it. So if you buy and sell the contracts, not the properties. Let's look at an example here. We say you sign a contract for $120,000 and the value is shown that's $150,000. The first thing you can do is just sign this over to an end buyer and charge them $5,000. Just take the contract, and it's up to them to do the closing and all that, and you're stepped out of the way. Now, this can be done by the simple fact of adding a clause into the contract, which you'll want to learn what clauses to put into a contract, when to use them, and so forth. Now, the second way is to do a double closing. Now, not all title companies or places where you're going to do a closing are willing to do these or are able to. So you want to check on that, make sure you've got somebody that can do it properly. So you sign a contract for $120,000, then you turn around and find a buyer that's willing to pay $135,000. So with the closing of the second at the same time as your first contract, the profits or the money from the second would pay for your cost of the first. And then at the end, you end up with a yield of $15,000. So that's a nice way to do it. Get other people's money. Now, getting money for a good deal is probably the easier part. Finding the money is usually going to be easier than finding the deal. There's a lot of money out there to be had if the deal makes sense. First of all, you can look at hard money lenders. A lot of them will go up to 70% of value. And so if you're buying something at 65 or 60% of value, you can borrow the full amount. Now, these will cost a little higher in interest, and there's they'll have a charge for making the loan at the beginning as well. But when you look at the short term that you're going to have it, it's not going to be a great deal of money difference. And if you're looking at you can make $40,000 on a deal and you got to spend $10,000 to get that loan, well, that's not a bad return on investments, essentially, when your return on investment is going to be infinite since you don't have any money in it. Now, another great one is the money partners, and this is where you want to have eventually down the line. They will. There's a lot of people out there that have the money, they just don't have the time or ability to get out into the field and do all the running around. So if you've got money partners, if you come across a deal, it's you can have these things funded in a matter of days, or even set up to where you have money and you just pay them for the use of it, and it's going to be up to you to use it the way you see fit. Now, you must learn to buy with no money down. And to start with, that may be mandatory if you have no money. So but also after you've gotten some money, it gives you an unlimited amount of funding. If you're looking to go to a bank, if you've got 2 or 3 loans already, they're going to tell you that you can't afford to buy another house, even if those houses are increasing your cash flow and your equity. Now, it also, if you have other people's money or don't have money down in it and you're not using your credit, then you get to keep that clear and keep your credit in a high rating. So this has been a quick and very little detail, but must learn to do it in the proper manner. So education is the true answer to becoming a good investor. Learn from those that have done it and done it more than once. There's a lot of people out there, they may have done one that they're not an expert in. You want to have people that are making millions of dollars each year. Those are the people you want to listen to, because they've done it, and they've done it more than once. They've run into a lot of different problems along the way, and they know how to answer those problems before they cost you money. Also, look for a community of investors that you can go back to again and again. There's nothing more important than having a group of people that you can associate with that have a like mind and are wanting to go in the same direction that you want to go. Now, if you'd like to get some more information, you can go to bestrealestateinvestingcourses.info. So just remember that you're going to get some information, and for going there, you can get a free book of the double dozen dynamics that'll explain 12 different ways of problems to stay away from as a real estate investor and help you get the right answers. So thanks for stopping.